Lenn Woolston. I am a writer, blogger, and nerd, and on today's video I'm going to be discussing exactly how I deal with being in the query trenches, or that waiting period of trying to see what is going to happen now that your manuscript is out in the world looking for a home, whether with an agent or an editor or by other means, and you're just in that waiting period asking what's next. I will also be discussing exactly how querying has gone for me and where I'm at and what kind of feedback I've gotten and exactly where I am in the trenches. So if you are interested in that, you can watch at the end where I'll be discussing exactly what's going on in my personal journey. And now on to exactly what the heck to do. Number 1, avoid your inbox. This is very important because as tempting as it is to hit that refresh button over and over and over again, I'm telling you, just avoid it. Inevitably, you will get whatever a rejection or it will be a request for more materials, but it will happen when it happens. It doesn't matter how many times you hit that refresh button, and constantly trying to determine when that time will come by opening up your inbox isn't going to change it. Number 2, start a new project. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to mean a new writing project or something where it's like you've taken an idea and like bam, onto the next book or anything, but start a new project. Start something that you can invest all of the time and energy that you spent into that manuscript into something else, because just sitting by and waiting will drive you crazy. I swear that is more torture than having to try to watch water boil. So I really recommend that you invest your time and your energy, like I said, into a new project. Number 3, build your author platform. Now, if you aren't aware, an author platform is a means to be able, as an author, to kind of reach out to reading and writing communities through mainly means of social media accounts. And that is something that I can say, working as an editor, that it's something that, we look at prospective new authors before we sign them, is to know, okay, well, what kind of platform do they have? Now, wait a second. Am I saying that it's all about a numbers game, that it's simply about how many followers you have and that you'll get signed? No, that's not what I'm telling you to focus on. Building your author platform is showing prospective agents and editors, or anybody, even readers, that you are out there because you are passionate about your story and you want to be part of the community. And in this day and age, it's something that in our culture, social media is a means to reach more people and potentially more readers. And so I don't want you to get caught up on the numbers thing. I, for one, have never really been stuck on that. And sometimes I know that it's really hard as an introvert to kind of put yourself out there. I have a video coming on that later because, hello, introvert right here. But I will say that it's all about getting yourself out there. If you are showing that you are making attempts of like getting yourself out there, that's something that, it does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of time. And so if you are in that waiting period, you could definitely focus more on your author platform. And again, not just about numbers, but it's about reaching other people and making relationships. You may be able to network with people that you wouldn't be able to in your everyday life, but through the means of social media, you're able to do that. I know I have done that on several occasions, and it's really benefited me to just kind of reach out and to just kind of put myself out there. And I know that it's something that has gained a lot of value into my writing experience, and so I highly recommend that you do that. Number 4, read. I am a huge advocate of a writer who reads. That is how you are able to kind of hone your craft and also see how other people do it. Reading also expands your vocabulary. It exposes you to just how other storytellers tell their stories. And it's something that I know a lot of people kind of are on the fence about, well, I write books. I don't necessarily have to read them. And it's true that you don't, but I highly recommend it because given that time when you are waiting around, what better to do than to show your support to other authors and to also engage in other people's stories. And so I definitely recommend reading, not just in the genre that you write, but also just reading outside of your genre, and that's another topic for another day. But definitely take the time to read more books, both in fiction and in nonfiction, because you'll be able to kind of just, again, hone your craft, gain better skills as a writer, and then also support fellow authors. And lastly, number 5 is to celebrate. Celebrate. You just wrote a book. It's time to celebrate. That is not something that everybody can say that they have done. There are many people who attempt writing a book and don't finish it, but you have, and that is something to celebrate. This is something that I am still learning, to be able to celebrate in the fact that I have completed yet another book, and it's something that is a joyous time. That is, reaching the end on a manuscript is one of the best feelings a writer can ever feel. I think that's true across the board, whether you are writing your first book or your 50th. That reaching the end is an incredible feeling, and so it is something to celebrate. So there you have it. That is my advice to all of you who are in that waiting period of querying and just trying to figure out what to do with your time. So now, on a more personal note, I will kind of fill you in on where I am with the querying process and everything. So I just wanted to take this time because I know that some of you have asked me how everything's going with querying, and so I'll just give you a quick update. So for those of you who don't know, I am currently querying my young adult contemporary story that is entitled Shut the Punk Up. And you can look into my other video where I did this whole reveal about what it is and everything, and I'll link that down below if you are interested in learning more about what my story is. But I'm currently querying it, and as of right now, I have 6 agents who are reading it and are considering it, which is, to be honest, the most positive outcome so far with all of my querying, because I have queried before on other books and it just didn't pan out for XYZ reasons. But this one, I am trying not to get too hopeful because they could still all say no, but I am just so excited to know that that many people have requested this story. Just really excites me because it's one that's true to my heart. So I'm totally in this waiting period. I also have submitted to Pitch Wars that's going on because I just love submitting to that, just in the chance that, you know, that's another way that people end up doing traditionally published work is by doing Pitch Wars. And so I submitted my manuscript to Pitch Wars to see if I would get selected and have a mentor who would be able to help me in just kind of tweaking my manuscript and then going before agents in a round in February. And so I am waiting, like I'm sure pretty much all of you watching this are, for whether or not you get selected. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And so because like I was saying, I like to work on another project, I have a different writing thing that I'm doing right now where it's another young adult story, and it is contemporary, but it's darker. So I kind of been waiting to write this one because I just wanted to be fall. I wanted it to be in the season of Halloween and everything because it just fits in so much with my story. So that is what I'm currently working on. And again, more waiting. So I'm right there with you. All right, that brings you all up to date on how I'm doing on my whole querying process and everything. So I want to know, where are you with querying, if you're even querying, or what you're up to and everything. Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, an awesome week, and until next video, guys, bye!